You are the least accomplished person on this couch.
Tell us you cannot pay for your own house or expenses without Michael. Do you still think she's the least accomplished, or is that you?
The brothers argue about how the money was being spent.
That wasn't it at all.
Because it looked very much like a little bit of embezzlement.
Embezzle! I was hoping embezzle! Embezzle, bitch. Embezzle?
But why would I go public if we were stealing money?
The Real Housewife getting 6.5 years in prison for her role in orchestrating a fraud scheme.
Instead of talking about her uterus and what's happening with her personal life, she would rather malign and with people's families.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna be looking at the Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion, part 1. This reunion was, it was a slow build up, but at the end I got exactly what I needed. The meal was served. I ate what I had to eat. Candace did what she had to do. And Mia and Gisele took both the L's for this episode. But let's get into the video. Like, comment, subscribe. If this is not the first time you see my face, please subscribe and join the family.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, wanted, securing the bag.
Y'all, so I just want to let you know that I am back home from Houston. I got home and, got off my flight, and I just took the day to relax. And then after that, because I got back into DC and I have a week off from work, so I was just like, I might as well come home to North Carolina. So that's where I am right now. I'm in North Carolina visiting family, and I had a good time last night with my friends. We went out and we did what we had to do. Yeah. But we're not here for that. We're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Andy introduces all the girls. He do all his little going around. Are y'all ready for the reunion? I'm happy they sped by that, and that was like 30 seconds because I could really care less about what's going on behind stage. Let's get on the stage and talk about what we got to talk about, right? So Andy just goes around, say hello to all the girls, and this, that, and the third. And my whole thing was, the only thing that stood out to me was when Andy basically, talks to Candace. He was like, "Oh, Candace, look at you. You look amazing. How do you get to Sesame Street?" You'll probably have to ask Ashley since she has the keys. The seating arrangement. So the seating arrangement got leaked earlier on, and a lot of influencers and people that do reviews and stuff commented on Twitter about like how we hate the seating arrangement. I felt like the seating arrangement was just weird. And even it was weird to all the girls. Andy's like, well, I have a say so, but don't blame me. He knew that social media was going to tear his tail up if it was him. But they're like, the reason why this is so complicated is because you're a complicated group of women. And no, you could have easily, first of all, Gisele and Karen should not have been first chairs, because what have they brought for this season? They were literally background characters. I ain't gonna say background. Let's say Gisele was definitely background character. Karen cranked herself up, like I'm gonna say the fourth quarter of the season. She was chilling, but when she got into it with Robin, she cranked it up. So on the left hand side, you could have put Candace, Karen, Wendy. Boom. The next side, you could have put Robin, Ashley, Mia, Gisele. Like it was really simple. And then you could have put Charisse over here and then Jacqueline over there. Boom. It was simple. So to make it seem like this was so, oh my God, it was so complicated. Y'all are a complicated group of women. No, like at the end of the day, we already know what it is. Candace, Karen, Wendy. They cool. And the rest of them. We basically get into, Ashley buying a house. So Ashley's over here. She bought her house, and I had to stand corrected because I said that her house was $1,300 a month, and she was just like, "Oh my God, that's so expensive." And even I was just like, "Girl, expensive? Like, first of all, like my apartment is way more. I spend way more than that on my apartment. So for it to be expensive, girl, are you crazy?" But I stand corrected because she said $13,000. So I'm like, okay, that is expensive. And, she's like, hopefully Michael would be, footing the bill or helping because I can't afford that. So, Ashley also talk about how, Michael has a key to her house. And all the girls like,
Oh my God, he should not have a key. What key to the house? Like, what if he walk in on doing the thing and da.
Clothes on and to have the guy slip out the back
Guys,
door.
he asks permission. It's not a guarantee.
I feel like if Michael's gonna pay that $13,000 a month, yeah, he should have a key to the house. To be honest, because at the end of the day, that's his house. Yes, they bought it with an LLC. To be honest, that house can go to the kids. Like, it's in the LLC. It's basically like a business property. That he need to have a key to the house. He paid for it. But I feel like her setting a boundary of him having to, have permission. I feel like that was a great boundary to set because, yes, you are paid for the house, but yes, have permission. Asking me first before you just show up and walk up to my house. Ashley talked about she broke up with Luke, and how there was a lot of boundary issues with Michael, and how Michael would just drop the kids off and do all this and the third, and she just felt like it was a lot because one time the kids came home early. She had to send Luke away because her kids were there, and Andy was like, well, why would you send him away because your kids, you can't meet the kids?
At the house on Sunday night, and Luke was there, so Luke had to leave.
Why did Luke have to leave?
Because my children were there.
Is someone you're dating not allowed to be around the kids?
And I actually agree with Ashley because at the end of the day, like, you don't want to expose your kids, especially young kids, to someone new and fresh into your life. And you don't know if they're going to be there for the long haul. It's like, why even do that? Because then you don't want your kids later on be over here just like,
Mama will get around. Mommy was getting around.
But Andy also brings up, do you think that Michael felt inferior? Because, she basically leveled up. Like, you look at Michael and you look at Luke. There's no comparison at all. Then we go on to this prenup. I have to say that Ashley, and I'm gonna give her a little bit of grace, but not right now. I have to say that Ashley is less than smart with the situation because I feel like she had an opportunity to look at that prenup in season 5 and go over the prenup.
Signing that without talking to a lawyer, right?
If it's a show of good faith to you that I'm in this marriage for the right reasons, I have absolutely no qualms about signing.
And basically set out new guidelines to her prenup. She told us as the viewers in season 5 that, if I do this, that, and the third, I'll get a hefty lump sum.
Certain lump sum amount if we divorce before the 3-year mark, but post the 3-year mark, I get more than that.
All of this, but now she's basically saying that, basically that all Michael's money is tied up in his businesses that he had before her, so she would not be awarded
anything.
So basically, she'll be leaving her marriage, not even with alimony. Maybe child support, if that's now. Do I feel like Ashley's owed something? I do. I feel like she was in that marriage for X amount of years and he put her through hell just for her not to even get a return on her investment. Okay. Everyone's confused. And like I said, we have to realize that Ashley is young, right? Everybody's like, girl, you're leaving with nothing. Why would you sign that? Oh my God, you're crazy. You're da 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 da. But you have to realize that Ashley's like, what, 34, 33, 35? When she met Michael, she was like 27, 26, maybe 23. So I'm just like, she was a young girl that really wasn't even thinking about, one, probably marriage, and two, wasn't even thinking about prenups. At the end of the day, for her to, I'm not blaming Ashley for not signing a prenup when she got married. I'm looking at Ashley crazy because she did go over the prenup again in season 5, and they redone the prenup, and that's why I'm just like, I'm confused. But Ashley, girl, you got what you got. Michael outsmarted you yet again.
You cannot pay for your own house or expenses without Michael. Do you still think she's the least accomplished, or is that you? Oh, that's mean.
Candace brings up, she said, Ashley, it's funny because, you brought up, you and some other girls on this, up here on these couches, brought up my living situation that my mom was paying for my house and I was living in my mother's house for seasons and seasons. So what is the difference between your situation and mine? So Ashley,
I stand by the fact that I think as an adult, at some point in time, you do need to be responsible for yourself.
Wait a damn minute.
My mortgage is $13,000 a month, and I'm like, that's a lot for me by myself.
I agree with Candace because she was like, okay, at the end of the day, it's generational wealth. How you gonna get mad at me because my parents afforded me a lifestyle that you can never have? What is that? That's so mean. But it's like, how can you get mad at me because my parents set me up well and afforded me a lifestyle? Because Ashley talked about Candace so bad about living in her mother's house, but you had to lay on your back. I mean, at some point, it's just like, I'd rather have my parents set me up nicely and pay for my house for me to get to the next level, for Candace to ultimately buy her own house with her husband, for you now to get out of a divorce, Ashley, and have a man buy you a house as a parting gift. Just saying, you know? So Ashley, I mean, you got the L on this one. Like, honestly, truly, you got it. Now we're on Mia's segment, right? And we're looking at Mia's package, you know, all the flashbacks of her in the doctors, her over here talking about her biopsies and all this. Mia be lying. Mia be lying. Andy asked Mia, okay, so was it a rash on your butt? Mia basically is like, well, you know, it was a lump were found in my chest and on my buttocks. And Candace and Robert are asking, like, so what is it that you actually have? Like, what is it, a rash? Is it like mesothelioma? Like, what is it, girl? Like, you know, we want to figure out what it is. Andy was like, well, maybe, you know, it's, you know, your body rejecting all the plastic surgery that you had. You know, you had your lips done. You had your, you know, your private part done. You had your butt done. You
had your waist done. You had your feet done. You had your hair follicles done. You had your eyes done. You had your lips done. You had your back fat done. You had your facelift. You had your eyes more almond shaped. You had your earlobes trimmed. You had
Maybe it was your body rejecting fillers or implants or augmentation that you've done.
Yeah.
Even Mia was like, okay, that could be a possibility, but you know, we can't rule everything out. Like, at the end of the day, it's still ongoing, right? So, we all talk about the whole Wendy hot mic, and I feel like, yes, Wendy, you was lying. I said it in the episode. Wendy, you got caught. You got caught red-handed. That was so embarrassing because Wendy, you were over here trying to hold Robin to task, and that was your whole argument with Robin. Like, oh, Robin, you're lying because you called her a liar. You called her a liar. You need to stand
10 toes on it, rug.
all this, right? But then you get caught on a hot mic talking to the producer, talk about she was lying, this, that, and the third. I was like, Wendy, at the end of the day, even though I get where Wendy was coming from, you know, at the end with Robin, I totally get where she was coming from. But Wendy, you did all of that, then to just say
You called her a liar. I never have called her a liar.
So how are you with Mia?
I'm okay. But she's lying, so who cares?
Dr. Wendy, we have to call a spade a spade. At the end of the day, you did lie. You tried to act like you were high and mighty in that moment. Like, well, you know, at least I'm gonna be her friend. I'm gonna support her. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna just do this, da 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 da. And then just in the hot mic say that, oh, we all know she lied. Andy asked me, so I thought you were the CEO of your company. So what's up with that? You know, let's dig into that, Mia, because now you're saying that the brothers have control. I'm confused. Explain for me, please. So, like I said, everybody's confused, and she basically talks about, you know, they voted on the board, and she was 1 vote and versus 3 votes, and then she said that the purpose of the current company is generational wealth, but I thought the purpose of the company, she said the purpose of the company was to produce generational wealth. I thought the purpose of the company was to give chiropractic health. Maybe joint health. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's just what the purpose of the company was for me. But, you know, I mean, generational wealth, I mean, you could definitely provide that with a company, but I thought the sole purpose was to give people a better way of life of, you know, popping their joints, getting them the fluid moving. Maybe I was wrong, you know. Then all of a sudden Andy said, like, so there's 3 members in this meeting, right? And Mia's like, no, there's actually 8 members on the board. And I'm like, hey, you said 3, man.
But there are 3 people on the board?
Plus you, so it's 4.
No, there's a total of 8. And
There's 8.
There's a total of 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just about 5 minutes.
Now everybody's over here in the huss and the fuss. And then Mia talking about,
I don't want to have this convo in front of these girls because they're just going to make it a joke and just laugh. It is not a laughing matter.
girl, I feel like Mia wanted to come on this show with this facade, just like Jen Shaw, just like a lot of these girls, Erica Jane, and all these girls want to come on here with this facade, and I'm just this and that, instead of just being yourself, because we all knew what it was when Mia first came on. I thought Mia was a great addition in the beginning, but I was like, yeah, she lie a lot, and I don't know who she really is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she definitely has a mask on, and she doesn't want to show who her true self is authentically. Like Gisele brings up, she said, Mia, I just want to let you know, like, you know, is it the reason the brothers dropped you because, you know, of the spending habits? Because you and G, it looks like y'all are like embezzling. I'm like, Gisele, embezzle?
Because it looked very much like a little bit of embezzlement, kind of. Like there was money that you guys were taking from the company. And
so Andy asked Gisele, like, how do you feel about Mia's openness? Because, you know, Mia has been so open and, you know, about her life, and you are such a private woman. How do you feel about that? So, Gisele was like, well, you know, I just feel like Mia's just trying to get ahead of the story, and she just, you know, I think it's a good thing. But now we gonna segue over to Candace. They basically start the whole segment with this unseen footage of Chris. Gisele basically said that, you know, the night of the party, of Candace party, the final episode. Candace, you know, everything was cool. I haven't had a chance to talk to Chris at all, but he sent me a text, and the text said,
hesitant. He said, if I made you feel uncomfortable, I am sorry. You've admitted it, and you've apologized, and we're moving on.
So I feel like, and Gisele basically, like, you know, she basically felt vindicated in the confession. Like, you know, he admitted it. I'm done with it. I'm good. So I felt the whole problem is that Gisele, now you're good. You're cool with the fact that he, quote unquote, to you apologized. But now you don't understand why Chris and Candace are so upset about the whole situation when they see back you over here saying all these, you know, you're trying to bend the truth. You're trying to spin these lies.
What did I say that was different?
he's a sneaky link. Have tried me, and I felt like it was a situation in which he was trying to see if I was with it.
And it's just, it wasn't called for. So Gisele apologized, and she was like, well, you know, Candace, I apologize.
I apologize for that.
To whom did you apologize?
I apologize to you, and I apologize to him.
Then take your apology and shove it up your ass.
You know, I just want to just say I apologize. And I feel like Gisele does what Lisa Rinna does. When you get confronted with a situation, you automatically apologize just for them just to back off, let it go. And when you apologize, take accountability right in the beginning, they don't got nothing else to talk about, right? But no. That's not what we're doing. Candace tell her she can shove her apology up her ass because I don't take it. So then Robin jumps in, and Robin is like, well, you know, she really did feel uncomfortable because she told me that night when we were leaving New Jersey. So Candace was just like, I'm not saying she didn't feel uncomfortable. Like, that's valid. But at the end of the day, the issue is Gisele is bringing it up on camera, and then you're over here spinning it with all this extra stuff and all these extra lies. And my whole thing is the accusation that you threw out could have, you know, potentially lost his job. And then also HR could have been involved, and they could have basically investigated and tried to figure out if this was true or not. But then, you know, obviously Gisele saying, but nothing happened. Girl. So I feel Candace was trying. So Candace was saying, and it got cut off. Candace was like, let's say he was, because, you know, Gisele said that Chris was lying about, you know, the he invited her or she invited her, the semantics of it. Candace said, like, let's say he did lie. It got cut off because, you know, asked another question. I feel like Candace was trying to say, let's say he did lie. Why did you walk into a room when you saw that no one else was in the room, and you know that you're uncomfortable being in a room alone with another man that's not your man? I think that's what Candace was trying to get at. Like, why did you walk into a room when you know that your boundary is that you feel uncomfortable in a room with another man? So why would you put yourself in a situation when you feel uncomfortable? Andy was also trying to say, because, you know, Robin's swinging for her girl now.
She said to me was, Chris asked me to have a private conversation in my bedroom, and you told me I did not feel comfortable.
Robin's over here talking about, so we're skipping over the whole part that, you know, there's a man in a room with a woman Like, we're skipping over that in the hotel room. That's just weird. And I'm just like, Robin, it's weird now, but it wasn't real weird with Juan. But you believe Juan. But like, I'm just like, Robin, girl, bye. Andy switches gears and he asks about Candace egg retrieval. And, you know, Candace started getting tearing up.
With a successful egg retrieval. And we have 6 embryos.
Wow, that's great.
Congratulations to Candace. Hopefully, you know, whenever you're ready to have a baby and, you know, start your family, I wish the best for you and Chris. So, yeah, I'm gonna give you all that, but let's get back. Wendy brings up, we could give Gisele the benefit of the doubt, but this is becoming a pattern now. This is who she is, and this is what she does. Instead of talking about what she got going on, she wants to talk about everybody else. And that's just a fact, right? And at this point, Candace is letting loose. Candace is over here like, she was like, you know, instead of you talking about your personal business, you want to, instead of you talking about your personal business, like your withering uterus, that was a low blow. But I can't get mad because Gisele, you started it. It's like the difference between Adriana and Alexia is Adriana hit someone, like Adriana went after someone else, and it was after her child, after Alexia's child. Candace is still going after Gisele. I mean, all is fair, right? And she was like, instead of you talking about your storyline, about you, and, you know, she having a hysterectomy, this and third, you want to attack my family and, you know, degrade and malign my family. And for a storyline,
Instead of talking about her uterus and what's happening with her personal life.
Candace is tearing Gisele up. And it is what it is. And I just feel like Gisele, one thing about Gisele is that I feel like Gisele could be a great housewife. And I don't mind Gisele half the time. The thing is let's say Gisele does good in the season, right? Gisele never performs at the reunion. She could never get her words out. She could always sit there just stuck on stupid.
Rather malign, and you use this show. Nothing else going on.
Candace is saying all this and you have nothing to say? Nothing? I just feel like with Giselle's kind of overhyped because let it been Kenya Moore, right? Let it been Nene Leakes. Hell, let it been Teresa. And we already know how Teresa can be a little bit slow. Like, I just feel like Gisele never performs, and that's why I have to give Gisele and Mia together the L for this episode. Candace wins this episode because I feel like Candace said everything that we wanted her to say. She could have did more, but she on the right track. So yeah, that was the episode, you guys. There's been a lot of stuff going on with Bravo, NBC Universal, and them pulling people's like videos and like their stuff on Instagram. I haven't got anything on YouTube, so I'm pretty much in the clear. But if you see that I start basically, you know, removing some like videos off, or if I just do like my videos straight with no, like, you know, videos from the show, then that's just because of that. So I just want to give a heads up just so you guys know. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.